What's up, everybody? MTG Trader here, back for another episode. All right, this one's going to be short and sweet. I've got 6 cards that I'm going to go over. These cards are EDH specs for me. Some of them I got a little while ago. Some of them I'm still actively acquiring. These cards are cards that are underrated, underrepresented in EDH. I don't see a lot of players using these, and these cards are amazing. So let's get into that right now. We are going to talk about Clever Impersonator first. This card is 2 colorless, 2 blue, and you can have Clever Impersonator enter the battlefield as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. That's right. I said any non-land permanent on the battlefield. So can you say an Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre for 4? Boom! That's right. You get one. All right. You get one, your opponent's got one, you got one too. That's what you do, right? Oh, did you just land in the Chroma's Memorial and you're going to be able to fly over here, smack me in the face whenever you want, got protection from red and from black. What? Vigilance? Nah. Listen, dog, I got Clever Impersonator for 4. I'm going to land that at Chroma's Memorial. You paid 7. I got the blue discount. You know, it's the blue light special. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, now we got Clever Impersonator out of the way. Let's move on to the next card. I got Trailblazers Boots. That's right. You heard me. Trailblazers Boots. You know, just like the flavor text says, it's much easier to list the places they haven't been. And believe me, I've been to places. I've worn Trailblazers Boots. I use them all the time. What does this thing do? I know. You're wondering, right? Trailblazers Boots. What does it do? Well, it's a 2-cost artifact. That's right. It's pretty cheap for 2, and you get to equip for 2. What? Equip for 2? Well, what does it do? We still don't know what it does, right? I'll tell you what it does. The equipped creature has non-basic landwalk. You know what that means in EDH? Non-basic landwalk? That means I get to punch you in the face with the biggest thing I got on the board every single time. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it except try to get rid of my Trailblazers Boots. What? You don't want to take 4 from my big fatty? Too bad. You played a non-basic land. This is EDH. That's probably half the land you got in your deck. I'm swinging for the fences, and I'm going to get there. Trailblazers Boots. That's what I'm talking about, right? Don't forget this card. It's like $1, $1 to smack your friends in the face anytime you want. You order this thing online today. You get it in a few days. You equip this to this big, bad fatty you got on the board, and there's nothing your EDH friends can do. They're taking it to the face. Well, how are you going to get Trailblazers Boots, right? Or how are you going to get that Ulamog or the Clever Impersonator I just talked about? I'm going to tell you how. Slate of Ancestry. That's right, Slate of Ancestry. The next artifact on my list. This thing costs 4 mana. You drop this on the board. You get to pay 4 mana. Discard your hand. You know, that useless hand you've been looking at for the past 3 turns. You can't draw a land. You can't do anything. It's garbage. This thing, you top deck it. You land it. You pay your 8 mana in total. And then you discard that useless hand. And you draw a card for each creature you control. Yeah, each creature you control. What? You're playing a token deck? Huh. For 8 mana, you get to, on this turn, draw 8 cards, 7 cards? That seems pretty good, doesn't it? What? On the next turn, you can do it again for 4 mana? You can ditch any unnecessary cards you want that you don't need and get more cards out of that 100-card library? Let me tell you, Reese the Redeemed, in that deck, I use this card all the time. The most I've drawn with this card is over 40 cards. What? I don't remember what over 40 cards means because I stopped counting at 40 cards. This is ridiculous. I will draw into a win condition almost every single time I land this. My play group now sees me land Slate of Ancestry, and they're like, oh no, we got to get rid of the thing. He's going to draw into his win condition. There's nothing we can do. You can't get rid of this thing? You're right. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to win. I'm going to grab my Trailblazers Boots. I'm going to put it on the biggest creature I have, and I'm going to smack you in the face over and over and over again. Slate of Ancestry. All right. You're a blue player. You're not a green player. You don't have a big fatty, but you got something with flying or you got something with some sort of evasion, whatever. No problem. You didn't draw your Trailblazers boots? Well, I got the answer for you too. Words of wisdom. One colorless, one blue. You draw 2 cards, then each other player draws a card. All right, that seems okay. You draw 2, they draw 1. You got a slight card advantage. But what's that? Oh, you have a Consecrated Sphinx on your field? No problem. You'll draw 2 cards. They'll draw 1 card each. And in a 4-man pod, this is going to get you 8 cards total. Yeah, 8 cards total. 6 more. 6 more cards because they each have to draw a card. And you get to pick whether you draw it or not. Oh, you don't have that? Well, let me see. You've got Notion Thief on the board. You're playing Dimir. That sounds reasonable. Notion Thief's on the board. You're going to draw 2 cards. Then your opponents are going to be like, oh, we get to draw a card too. No, you don't. Because Notion Thief says if an opponent would draw a card, except the first card he or she draws in each of his or her draw steps, instead, that player draws a card, does not draw a card. Whoa, can I read the card or not? No, apparently not. That player skips that draw, and you draw the card. Yeah, you get the card. 4-man pod, same scenario. You play Words of Wisdom with a Notion Thief, you get 5 cards. They get the big goose egg. All right. Next card. Parallel Thoughts. Again, a blue card. Who doesn't like blue, right? Blue's got all the answers anyway. I mean, let's just be honest. Parallel Thoughts, 3 colorless, 2 blue. It's an enchantment. When Parallel Thoughts comes into play, search your library for 7 cards. Remove them from the game in a face-down pile and shuffle that pile. Then shuffle your library. If you would draw a card, you may instead put the top card of that pile you removed into your hand. Yeah, you read that right. It took me like 30 seconds to read that, but what really that says for blue is you win the game. Pay 3 colorless mana and 2 blue mana, you win the game. You basically get to search your library for 7 cards, and they're in a face-down pile. Your opponents aren't going to know what you put in that pile. They're not going to know what's coming. They're not going to know what hit them. They're not going to be able to prepare themselves for the hurting that's about to happen. So, you take the 7 cards you want, you shuffle them up in that pile, and you get to pull from that pile for the next 7 turns. Blue, if you can't win in 7 turns with 7 cards of your choice, your deck's not working right. Last but not least, we have Credit Voucher. Yeah, Credit Voucher, right? Sounds like a great card. What does it do? Oh, what does it do, you ask? Well, let me tell you. 2 colorless mana. You get to land this baby on the battlefield. And then if you got 2 colorless mana more, you can sacrifice Credit Voucher. You can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into your library, and then you draw that many cards. Again, you got a useless hand sitting in there, nothing to play, nothing you can do. Get rid of those cards. 4 mana, you get to take the useless cards out of your hand, you get to shuffle your library, and you get to try again. That's pretty good. I take it. I use it. It's a good card. You should use it too. And how much is it, you ask? Oh, well, let me tell you how much Credit Voucher is. Credit Voucher is a measly 25 cents. That's right. You can pick this card up for 25 cents. And those are the things I was talking about, right? These cards are underused, underrepresented. Nobody wants them. If nobody wants them, they're cheap. When people want them, they're not cheap. So there you go. Today's episode, underused cards, underrated cards, great spec targets, great cards for your EDH deck, cheap way to upgrade your build. That's it for me. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video.